Tips for Success, Exercise Set 2.4, Evaluating Simple Arguments that Use Numbers, from a Workbook for Arguments, by Morrow and Weston. Many misleading uses of statistics can be detected with three simple questions. 1. What exactly are these statistics saying? 2. Are these statistics believable? And 3. Do these statistics really show what the argument claims they show? Be sure to ask yourself each of these questions when evaluating the following arguments, or any argument that use statistics. In addition, Rule 10 introduces some specific pitfalls in arguments that use simple statistics. 1 pitfall: rates or percentages offered without relevant background information. A second, statistics often surprisingly precise that no one is likely to know with any confidence. 3. Results of manipulative surveys or opinion polls. 4. Thoughtless extrapolations. And finally 5. The sloppy use of numbers to try to justify conclusions that the statistics just don't support. Look out for all of these pitfalls in the arguments below. Whereas Rule 9 urged you to include background rates when giving examples, the use of rates or percentages without background information is just as problematic. If you see an argument that only gives rates or percentages, ask yourself whether those rates might be misleading. Do you know enough background information to figure out whether, say, 10% decline is significant? If not, the argument's author may be trying to mislead you into thinking that something is a big deal, even when it's not. Another question to ask yourself when dealing with statistics is how someone would or could have learned that particular statistic and how reliable that method is. Suppose you're told that 68% of people floss daily. How would anyone know that? Most likely, a pollster asks people whether they floss daily. People sometimes lie, or let's just say shade the truth for pollsters though, especially when they're embarrassed about the true answer, or they don't quite want to face it themselves or otherwise fear that the true answer is not socially desirable. So, the figure that 68% of people floss daily might overestimate the percentage of people who floss daily. In general, the harder it would be to figure out a statistic, the more skeptical you should be that a statistic is accurate. But don't go overboard with this either. Statisticians have developed very clever techniques to get around these kinds of problems. You'll need to consider whether a particular argument was written by someone with the ability and motivation to use these techniques. Even with statistics that could be determined with some accuracy, some organizations might be more interested in getting a particular result than learning the truth. Pollsters can skew the results by using biased samples or asking loaded questions. Running tests over and over again until you get the desired result is another way to manipulate statistics. A toothpaste company can keep asking groups of 10 dentists which toothpaste they recommend until they find a group where 9 out of 10 recommend the company's brand. If a statistic comes from a source that's more interested in getting their preferred result than in getting the truth, you should be skeptical of the statistic.